am the president and CEO of Simply Kashonna. Simply Kashonna was started as a motivational, inspirational organization, just really wanting to speak and encourage people to live their best lives. A few years later, I started SK Leading Forward, where we focus more on training and development and professional coaching. We work with companies who are looking for strategic planning or just really wanting to enhance their culture through engagement through our training and development services. So BBB has been an amazing addition, if you will, to the credibility of my organization. It has just provided, I love the professional series that it provides, where I'm able to actually participate in not only professional development, but also personal development. I believe sometimes we focus so much on the business that we forget about the care of ourselves. And so BBB has really done a phenomenal job at bringing in educational series to allow us to do just that. I'm also a member of the BBB Foundation, which is a wonderful opportunity to do what I love to do, and that's bring that training and development arm to our businesses. As you heard me say earlier, I love to learn and just become better, not only professionally, but personally. So this gives me some really, it gives me an opportunity to really embed myself in the organization, allowing myself to really reach out to those organizations that don't have the assistance that they need otherwise in this area. So I believe that it is important to support Black-owned and minority businesses because we're not always in a space where we have equitable opportunities. When we look at the surrounding areas and businesses, there are always financial opportunities. They're put in spaces where they have visibility, which is great. But when you talk about Black-owned businesses, minority businesses, sometimes that same opportunity is not given. I believe in having those equitable experiences where we can not only make or create ways for people to succeed, but we make sure that we give them the resources to help them to thrive in those areas. You know, I often hear people say, well, we offered this and we offered that, and Black-owned businesses just don't take advantage of it. Well, I beg to differ with that. My question then becomes is, where did you market it? Who actually went to the business to make sure that they knew that that was there? Are we doing everything that we can to identify Black-owned and minority businesses and make sure that we provide resources such as mentors and coaches to make sure that they know how to do, what to do, when to do? All of those things are key to success. So I believe that there is an opportunity to grow Black-owned and minority businesses. We just have to make sure that we are strategic and intentional about doing it. So when we think about Black-owned businesses and what they symbolize in the Black community, I can't help but think of the word strength. Like, it comes just off my tongue so easily. When we see people who have done the work, when we see people who are leading in business, it's something that is to be honored, to be respected. And I believe that when you have businesses in the Black-owned community, it sets a precedent for that community. It says that we will be economically strengthened. It says that we won't allow ourselves to be disadvantaged or seen as disadvantaged. We will do whatever we need to do to build our community and make sure that they have the economic backing that they need. And I love that. I believe that even as we are symbolized as strength in the Black community, there's also a need for us to close the gap in other areas that are not minor or majority Black. I believe that there are other opportunities that should be made available to Black businesses. Again, we go back to being equitable. What can we do to position ourselves to get into communities where our dollar is still worth, it's still worth more, it's still worth the same as those who are around in that particular community. So it is a wonderful thing for us to engage the Black community in the Black business. It's also expanding our mind and our focus to make sure that we are becoming diverse in the areas that we didn't have access to. And that's what's important as well. Don't stop building. Don't stop growing. Don't stop developing. And I have this saying, and I say it all the time. If you're not changing, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you become ineffective. And when you become ineffective, you become irrelevant. It is important that you embrace your evolution. It is important that you don't allow yourself to stay stagnant and thinking that yesterday's services or yesterday's success is going to do for today. Unfortunately, our world is moving too fast for that. You gotta stay on top of it. You gotta actually stay ahead of it. Be a forward thinker. Don't be afraid to get into the room. Don't be afraid to speak and ask questions. Don't be afraid to take advice, even if you don't like it. Make sure that you not only stand up, but stand out. Always work on becoming a better you. When you become a better you, your business gets the benefits as well. As our workforce is changing, and I'm seeing now more and more entrepreneurs begin to really stand up and say, this is what I want to do. I want to be my own boss. One of the things I'm teaching entrepreneurs is you will always have a boss. And I know that's contrary to what we have been taught or what culture is dictating, but there's always someone who signs your check. So here's what has to happen. You have to work on your customer service and shift it to customer experience. You gotta know how to handle conflict. You gotta make sure that you are diverse, equitable, and inclusive. You gotta make sure you have effective communication. You gotta make sure that you know how to handle the difficult customer. Now, all 5 of these are topics that I actually teach. So as we're entering into fiscal year 24, for some of us, it is important that we begin to really write down what we need to do for not only professional development, but also personal development. So I will be offering classes, not only in person, but also online. I'm excited about that and excited about offering them to those who are looking for an opportunity to be flexible in terms of their schedules. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to also dipping a little bit into some collaboration space. You'll definitely hear more about that. We want to, again, build that entrepreneurial community, and we want to make sure that we also invite companies, their leaders, as well as their employees to come and build bridges. Where there is a disparity in communication, let's make sure we close that gap. Let's make sure we close the gap and we do everything that we can to build healthier workplaces.